It's interesting the link that you've made between perfectionism and actually low self-esteem and not actually viewing ourselves as enough.
Oh no, it's a
Because then,
solution to a self-worth issue.
yeah, yeah. So it's quite an interesting stream that people would go down because then obviously, well, not maybe not obviously, but there's that line that people, I would say women, like specifically, um, as a woman, I feel like, it's something that I can identify with. If someone gives you a compliment, imagine accepting it straight out and say, "Oh, thank you so much," or or saying like, "Oh yeah, 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 my hair does it great. You're spot on," or something like that.
Or just a
There's
thank you where you don't have to set yourself
yeah,
on fire afterwards, you know?
exactly. There's that sort of uncomfortable, "Oh, okay," or someone says, "Oh, I love your coat," and you say, "Thank you, I got it on sale," or whatever. You have to justify this
Mhm.
outward thing, and some of it will probably just be us and our conversational skills feeling a bit awkward and feeling the silence. But then some of it, to an extent, it's that not wanting to seem confident, not wanting to seem overconfident, because then that's a line that we don't want to go to as well. So
Sure.
then they say, no, 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 I couldn't possibly,
Okay, but check
just
this out.
not go
Forgive
against
me.
this. Yeah,
Check this
just,
out
yeah,
though.
go for it.
When we're I'm so sorry, I'm like rabid about this
She's
conversation with
bubbling
these
over.
skills. I am. Forgive me. I'm interrupting. I know it's rude. Um, when you talk about, because I hear this so often from clients, well, I don't want to be arrogant. Well, I don't want to be conceited. I don't want to be overly confident. And I have to kind of lean in conspiratorial and be like, babe, you think you're at risk for being arrogant? Do you really think you're like, is that the problem we're solving? Because the survival system will assign us a problem we've never had and then dedicate us to making sure that we keep out this problem that we've never been remotely close to having in the first place. And it's always interesting that the people who people who should have imposter syndrome don't. And the people who should not have imposter syndrome, who are overqualified, are the ones who do. We want to get suspicious about that those of us that are overcompensating with perfectionism are not at risk for being overly confident. We are at risk for making our complimenter have to double down on their compliment and then take care of us while we're apologizing for
I
them.
promise you do look nice. I promise you do look
Yeah, and they're
nice.
like, "Look, I just wanted to say something nice. I didn't want to have to take
Yeah.
care of your whole emotional system here." Like, there's a burden we create in that self-immolation and our refusal to take the compliment. But yeah, are we sure we're actually solving a problem that we have, or is this part of the survival system's distraction? Okay, no more interrupting. I'm so sorry.
No, no, absolutely. Like, is it a sociological thing, a cultural thing, or where does this refusal to take a compliment come from? Because it's quite a common thing that a lot of people can relate to. But why?
Yeah,
Why is that? Because it's kind of rude in a way as well, isn't it?
it
We're
is.
in
It
our
is.
being rude in our own way of being like, no, 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 I don't want that compliment. Thank you.
Right. Or I know best. I know my hair is actually trash, you
I
heathen. How
actually
dare
feel
you compliment
awful.
me?
Like, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, the amount of time, the energy we put into discrediting our complimenter. I think this is internalized because I listen. I've yet to see a guy who can't take a compliment. I'll just be forgive my broad gender bias here, but I have yet to
No.
see this be a problem in men in the same way. And I think this is left over too from the dark night of the puritanical ethic. I think it's, as Ram Dass said, I think it's part of our internalized shame that we get to double check. We get to confirm, is this actually helping me, or is this actually creating a lot more problems in my social dynamic? Am I actually being more pure and noble? And is that actually getting me anywhere? And what's the cost of that? Well, the cost of that is that we have to be constantly tugging our own reins and second guessing ourselves and affirming that we're not enough. So I think it's internalized misogyny. I think it's internalized shame. And I think for many, it's spiritual and religious trauma that has yet to be that gets mistaken for a mental health issue, or gets at least expressed as a mental health issue.
Because then I guess another manifestation of this is I get completely the opposite is then putting other people down. Again, women to women is quite common of
Mhm.
actively criticizing. Again, but perhaps not based on any merit, perhaps completely exaggerated, or perhaps it's
Mhm.
just pure mean. And I think everyone's fallen into those categories at some point because it's
Sure.
so common. But where does that sort of come from as well?
Well, we don't feel the need to put anyone down if we feel enough, do we? In fact, if you feel enough, there's a desire to lift other people, to recognize other people. We only put down the people that we somehow feel threatened by. or that we, this is a projection. Even if we don't like the behavior and genuinely believe they're less than, there is a sense of othering that happens. Oh, it's not in me, it's in you, which, boy, talk about cutting yourself off at the spiritual knees here. What a way to make sure you never look at yourself close enough to recognize that those same characteristics that you're shaming somebody else for is something you're afraid you might have.